Well, it's time now for a look at the day's top business news, and for that I'm joined in the studio by Brian Quinn. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Haxie.
Now we're starting in the US, where reports of an impending Supreme Court decision that would overturn the federal right to abortion are being met with new pledges from companies that want to support women's productive rights.
That is correct. Amazon, in particular, has told employees that it will compensate staff who are compelled to travel for medical procedures not available in their home state. That will include elective abortions. The company says its workers will be eligible for $4,000 in travel reimbursement. Amazon has some 1.1 million employees in the U.S. 70,000 of them are in Texas, where a new law on the books since September has effectively banned abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Other companies, including Yelp, Lyft, and Citigroup, have also rolled out policies to reimburse employees forced to travel for abortions. Now, should the U.S. Supreme Court indeed overturn Roe v. Wade, some 20 states are expected to severely limit or ban abortions altogether. Well, meanwhile, Amazon has seen off a bid by labor organizers to unionize a second company facility in New York. Workers at Amazon's LDJ5 warehouse on Staten Island voted 618 to 380 against forming a union. That result, a setback for labor organizers at the e-commerce giant. In April, they succeeded in unionizing a much larger Amazon warehouse nearby, a first at the 28-year-old company that is now the U.S.'s second largest private employer. Amazon has filed for court hearings to try and overturn that outcome. Organizers for the most recent effort say the company went all out to deprive them of another victory. Take a listen here.
They had a higher density of union busting. They brought in so many managers from different facilities. They intimidated them using the police. Every time I went to the property, I got threatened at least 4 or 5 times with the police. So there's a lot of objections, a lot of things that will come out in the coming days that we will share.
It's time now for a check on the day's trading action. Markets in Japan and mainland China are closed for holidays on Tuesday. The ASX in Sydney losing ground as Australia's central bank announces its first interest rate hike in a decade. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong, the Kospi in Seoul on opposite sides of the flat line after initially following a positive trend from Wall Street's Monday session. All eyes now turn to this week's U.S. Federal Reserve meeting. America's central bank is widely expected to hike interest rates and reduce its bond holdings. Investors will be looking for signals of just how quickly future rate hikes will be coming. Earlier, France 24 spoke to markets analyst Han Tan about just that.
It's a 50 basis point hike, which is double the usual 25 basis point adjustments. But, I think markets have already fully priced that in. Given the forward-looking nature of the markets, they are anticipating what the Fed has to say about its future policy moves from June onwards. So if the Fed does confirm expectations that it has to front-load more of these larger than usual hikes, I think that could spell more strength for the US dollar and perhaps unwind some of those recent gains that we have seen in stocks.
And finally, for business here in France, a 2-year drought on international tourism is finally coming to an end amid the loosening of pandemic restrictions. In the south of the country, the Easter holiday saw the medieval city of Carcassonne register its highest number of tourists since 2019. Caroline Lambelet has the details.
A mix of foreign languages resonates once again in the cobbled streets of the walled city of Carcassonne as tourism makes a comeback in France.
Beautiful. Yes, we're having a great trip.
Tourists enter through one of the main gates, piercing through the imposing walls. This group of visitors from the United States say it's their first trip abroad in 2 years.
Are you happy to be here?
Yes!
It's very nice to be back working. It's been over 2.5 years, donc je suis très, très content.
The pickup in tourism also comes as a relief for street artists, shop owners, and restaurant workers who've seen their outdoor seating areas fill up once more. Business at this restaurant has gone back to pre-pandemic levels.
We're doing really well this Easter season. We're really pleased. There are lots of people. Fingers crossed it will keep up.
For some, Carcassonne is just a stop in a journey along the Canal du Midi. This family from Rouen in Normandy has rented a boat for a week. After Carcassonne, they'll be heading further east.
Here we're going to go down like this, then we'll go close to Narbonne.
My kids are here, my grandkids too. It's wonderful.
With its warmer weather and singing accent, it's a welcome change of scenery, even for domestic tourists.
I've been to Carcassonne. It's quite nice. Get those medieval helmets and the wooden sword. And
I'm sure you look great as a medieval knight.
they were a bit small, but squeezed in there.
Brian Quinn with a look through the day's top business stories. Thank you very much.